Pit and then gas.
Well, I know that one now.
What's it technically called? The township in Greene County. What's it called?
How you know?
Nah, there's a government name.
But
Jackie,
Jackie,
Township.
isn't it
Yeah,
Clarksville?
Clarksville is the town.
What is the
Yes,
question?
it's the suburb of Clarksville.
And
Okay.
it's all technically in Jefferson.
Wait, I would have thought that was the opposite.
We've already discussed number 2.
But I have a question about number
let's still
two.
go through all of them.
I know.
At what point did you live on Clarksville?
Okay.
You never did.
We
That
stayed
ain't
with my
nobody paying you,
grandmother.
you never say stop.
What they
Well,
talking?
you wouldn't
With
know.
grandma? Yeah, we stayed with Grandma Butler for a while. When my mother, back in that day, the females started doing males' work because the males were in service. And then we had to go up to Grandma Butler's.
Okay, so I'm giving myself 2 points. I'm saying
So
Big Gas and
we
Clarksville.
all.
I said,
So you can do that all Jefferson
I
Township.
said Clarksville.
There's a difference.
Huh?
There's a difference between Clarksville and Clarksville Hill.
Oh,
It's all Jefferson Township.
okay, Kim,
But
Jefferson
so
County.
basically, she grew
Yeah,
up
Greene
in Pit
County.
Gas.
Greene County.
Right, pit gas. Pit gas.
Pit
gas.
It's like the coal mines have
Okay.
gas in
Yeah.
them.
Pit
Right
It's a
gas.
pit.
Yeah.
Gas.
And
The
then
coal
there's
mine
gas.
is right
Okay.
underneath
All
there.
right.
And y'all know there's all kind of underground railroad connections.
Yes.
Uncle Virgil's friend Roughbone, he did a documentary on it.
Yeah.
Really?
And
How do we see that?
Greene and Washington County.
It's on YouTube.
Okay, next, the first question is, what is her address?
248
Warrington Avenue.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15210.
I ain't got all that. I got Warrington Avenue.
248.
Without the zip code, it won't get there.
Wesley said
East Warrington. Name one of her hobbies.
Bacon.
Baking.
Everyone got it.
Everybody
Everybody got that one. Everybody
I
got
say
that one.
flowers.
I would
florals,
say,
plants.
mommy, baking and cooking.
I said singing.
I had
Right.
She said baking.
Okay, I'm taking 3
Oh,
points.
you just not cooking?
She said
Don't
baking.
put cooking.
When I asked her, right away,
I'm
she
not
said
answering
Yeah, I said
questions by
cooking cake.
myself.
baking. Well, you already told me what the answer was.
Okay.
Remember we went through this, yeah.
Oh.
What was her husband's name?
Uncle Virgil.
You knew that
Pat,
one.
pat, pat, pat.
Okay. What church does she belong to?
First Emmanuel Apostolic Tabernacle
All right.
Incorporated.
One word at a time, miss.
What? First Emmanuel Apostolic.
Wait a minute.
Tabernacle
Apostolic.
See, I didn't even know that answer.
Ma-
I knew it was
me-
Greater
Apple-
Emmanuel. That's
They
all
changed
right.
their name.
They did.
Tabernacle
They changed the
Incorporated.
name. Thank you. Thank you.
It used to be Greater Emmanuel.
Yeah, Greater
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
used
That's
to
what
when
we
you
thought.
were growing
Yeah,
up.
we were growing up. What is her favorite music?
Gospel.
That's right. You guys know Miss Juanita. What is her favorite song?
I couldn't remember, but I just took a stab at This Is the Day. But I don't think that's it.
No, that's in Mary's. That's in Mary's.
You
Mary.
Yes,
I know
Mary's
Mary's
favorite
song.
song. Yeah.
Yep.
What is that?
You want me to tell you?
I said Rough Side of the Mountain, but that thing was Lily Bell's song, wasn't it?
No,
Rough
she
Side
said-
of the Mountain.
She said, Jesus, I'll never forget.
What?
you
Yeah,
done
that's it.
for
That
me.
would be it.
Jesus, I'll never
Go
forget.
girl, pat your foot and sing.
Okay, that's.
I never
Nobody
heard
got
you sing
that.
We have never heard you sing that.
I didn't know that
You
either.
always sing something else.
Well,
I sing a lot of songs.
you do.
Mommy, how does it go? What does it
What?
say? Jesus.
Jesus, I'll never forget what you done for me. Jesus, I'll never forget how you set me free. Jesus, I'll never forget how you brought me out. Jesus, I'll never forget, no, never.
Right.
She said that
Leila
right away.
would
She
have
said that
one.
right away. Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Okay, so her children don't know everything either, right? Now this is a good one. What is her favorite TV show?
I said Al Sharpton.
That was it. Al Sharpton. She watches Al Sharpton on Saturday and on Sunday.
Yeah, don't call her between 5 and 6. Don't call her.
Don't call. She got to watch Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton.
Currently,
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still on.
Wow. Yep. Okay.
And Trump got it out for MSNBC.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna put a question on that.
Okay, so number 9. What is her favorite Bible verse?
Oh, God is a very present help in time of.
Yeah, Trump, you are very present.
That's how he's a very present help.
But that's not what she said.
Mercies are renewed every morning.
I said joy comes in the morning.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait. John, for God so loved the world, he gave his only son.
That was it. John, she said, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That's what she said right away. Okay. What is her favorite item to cook?
Pound cake. No?
No fish.
Fish?
Fish.
Fish.
Okay. Yep, fish. Fried
See, you
fish.
should invite me over
She
now.
said fried fish. She likes to make fish sandwiches. Okay. What is her favorite family activity?
The annual family reunion. Family reunion. No.
What did Anna
What
say?
you say?
My family activity, my favorite family activity.
Yeah, what did you
What'd
say?
you say?
Reunion.
Yeah, gathering.
She didn't say that.
No,
What is your Aunt Juanita's?
No, but somebody said.
Oh, that's your favorite, yeah. You would have thought she would have said that, right? But she didn't say that.
What
did she say?
That's what it's for.
Nobody wants to guess? You done guessing?
I just said.
She said Thanksgiving.
Oh.
I'll tell you why. Every Thanksgiving I went to my mother's house. My mother made me Thanksgiving dinner. And in the last couple years, it's been hard on me. Because I can't be with my mother to make her. She make me Thanksgiving dinner. I walked up that junction. How many times I tell you that? I walked up that junction. My mother made the best Thanksgiving dinner. Y'all missed it. I had to stand up because Thanksgiving, it was me and mommy.
Oh.
So you're saying Thanksgiving because you were.
You picked up the key detail there. That was the moonwalk. Y'all play the Michael. Y'all play the Michael. Cue the Michael.
Thank you,
Hold
Mama.
on, one more time on Sandy.
Yeah. I used to go down there every year.
You sure did.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she went down there.
Okay. And then the last one is everybody has to answer this one. What is your favorite memory of her?
Well, for me, spending summers up here with Candace and Ray. That's the ingrained part of it.
Yeah.
And we would hop around from everybody's house. We spent time at Grandma's house when she was here, Aunt Juanita, Aunt Mary. And we used to come to your house too for a little while.
No, I don't remember that. When?
When we were little kids, and we would spend some time at your house and Renee's house, and we would go
I don't
around.
remember that.
I do.
How old were you?
I do.
I don't remember.
Little. Like,
That's good. She remembers
I
that.
did y'all's nappy heads. Oh, God.
yeah, I remember.
Oh, okay, thank you. I don't remember y'all.
That's okay.
Anybody else have a favorite memory?
Thank you.
At church, well, I have so many memories. At Lions, at church, and then her bring me my cakes for my birthday every year. And she said, I know your birthday's in May. I know, May 4th. But yeah, and that was always a blessing for me. It really was. And one of the biggest memories when you brought it to my Lions, and people were so upset because I wouldn't cut it. That's my birthday cake. They wanted me to cut it and pass it out. Of course. I said, I'll put your piece.
You took it home.
Absolutely. But I did bring a few people a piece back. But it was always a blessing to me. So and you know I always appreciate it. So yeah, that and the singing in the choir. Because she had her solo, she would sing in, what's his name, Melvin Raines. I was singing so loud, you know, I was making a joyful noise, and he stopped and looked at me like, what tune are you singing? And she laughed. And I said, that's it. I just was singing Glory, and he looked at me like he stopped breathing. So I knew, you know, I was offbeat there, but they're good memories.
I'll share a memory. One of my favorite memories, and this is a singing memory. My mother and Leela and Aunt Mary would sing together. And they were so funny. Because they would get up there and say, what we gonna sing?
Yeah, that would be.
And then Leela would say,
visit,
yeah, they did different churches.
visit the church and big cats.
Yeah. And sometimes at Aunt Mary's church when she had a program. And so one year they had me, Carol had this program. I don't know if it was the Women's Day. It was down there at Second Baptist. And Carol had me up there singing with my mother, Aunt Mary, and Leela. And I was cracking up because they say, what we gonna sing next? And Leela say, I don't know, Juanita, just sing something. And then Mama would start singing, and then Aunt Mary would come in with the alto part, and Leela would be harmonizing. They were so funny, but they were classic. And they always sang together. And they always had a harmony too. And they just did it so naturally.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember you
I
in
do
the program
remember.
singing with them.
I remember that too. Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memories. And Leila would be beating her little tambourine. And Aunt Mary would be stomping her feet. It was always classic.
So I was at this event on Friday afternoon, and the food was lukewarm, right? And I said, is there a microwave anywhere? No. So the woman said, well, there's one upstairs. Do you want me to take it up there? I said, yes, thank you. I said, I guess I'm turning into my aunts.
I have some hot food.
Your food has to be piping hot when you eat it. And now I'm just like those. I want my food hot.
Yeah.
And I would be so embarrassed at the restaurant. I want this hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh Lord, but no, I'm just like them. And then another thing is, I have two more things to say. First memory, well, what I like most about you is, I love you, first of all, you're my aunt. And secondly, when my mother was sick, you saw about your sister, and that warmed my heart so much. It really did. And then around Christmas time, when you sing those Christmas songs, so that's my
We did it.
Well, Aunt Mary was everybody's favorite aunt. We loved Aunt Mary, all of us. I loved her.
We love you too, Aunt
Yeah.
Jackie.
All right, then.
Papa would do the favorites.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. I love my sisters too.
Yeah.
And the ones we had a wonderful growing up. And we're years apart, but we're still close. And a lot of times when I talk about my family to maybe when I was working with my coworkers or whatever, they couldn't relate, and I couldn't relate to them because I didn't understand how in the world you could have a family and not see each other over a year. You know, how can you do that?
Yeah.
And not only a year, some of them haven't seen them for many years. And I thought, well, how in the world can you do that? But I think what ours came from, Juanita, is our mother.
Oh, definitely.
My mother insisted that we get along because more than one time she said, blood is thicker than water, Jackie. You know, so we were going to get along, and we did. And I'm so thankful for the mindset that my mother had that she instilled in us, and we've tried to do that with our children too, which is another reason why we insist on that family reunion once a year. When it started out, a lot of people were saying, well, we don't have to do it every year. A lot of families do it every 2 years or every such and such year. But I'm so
thankful that we do it every year, because I knew I was away from Pittsburgh and my children would never know what I knew as a family, because we were always, even now, we're somewhere we don't have any blood relatives. And I see other people that do have family where I live, and you know, we go different places and they run into somebody, or that's my cousin or whatever. We don't experience that. So what we experience is a family reunion every year, and I'm thankful that my children want to come. So I think we're carrying on the tradition. What do you think, Juanita?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have a favorite memory, and it was one March at Whittier Elementary School, K through 5. And of course, Alice Juanita Moore was the extraordinaire secretary with an outfit to make you think she was the president of the corporation. But she was picked to be a woman to honor for Women's History Month for March. So I don't know who interviewed her, I never knew that part of it, but the day that it was then told to the whole school, the whole intercom system, all the classrooms were hearing this, and I think it was Elaine Wallace that was reading her life story. The school was in rapt attention to hear the story of a woman that we knew and loved, and her story is a good story. Every kid should hear it. So the story was now over, and the whole school was clapping their hearts out. It was I just felt like pride, bursting buttons from my jacket. I thought, this is really, these kids have heard something today, that they have learned a good story to imitate for life. And that's my favorite memory.
Wow.
Why is everybody looking at me?
Everybody's eating yourself.
I was actually looking at Kimberly for her favorite story. You haven't shared a favorite story. There's so many.
So many. I can't think of anything that's favorite.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. I used to take my mother, we would go on vacation together. And we went to the Ritz-Carlton. This is, well, you guys might think it's stupid, but for me it's very, very fascinating. So we get we get to the registration desk, you know, at the Ritz-Carlton, which I had never been. She had never been down in Florida. You know, so they meet us at the door. You know, we get the white glove service, and we come in and they say, "Would you like a glass of champagne?" I said, "Yes, I would like one, but my mother doesn't want me." She said, "Yes, I do." And so we had one time we had gone to Daytona Beach, and the hotel we were staying on the beach was right there at the beach. She got out there on that beach and sat in that beach chair the whole day. I couldn't get her back inside till the sun went down. You remember that? Mm-hmm. She stayed on that beach. The beach was like where, you know, people could drive up the beach and walk on the beach, and people were coming by and she was talking to them, and people came and sat next to her, and I was like, look at my mother. She sat there with her legs up, just swimming suit on, lounging and everything. So she was the beach, you know, she was all of that in a bag of chips, you know. Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
What about Vegas? You always used to tell me, Mommy, you and her.
Oh, when we went to Vegas.
I hope we can share that one.
Well, there was one time where we went to Chippendales. I took her to Chippendales, right? You know what Chippendales is.
Yes. Oh, I was cracking up.
And so we were sitting practically in the front row. And so Virgil called. And Virgil called. And he said, "What y'all doing?" I said, "We're at Chippendales, but don't tell Dad." And so when it was over, they wanted to take pictures. So I was like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna go and take the pictures with all the men." She said, "I ain't getting that picture."
No face, no case.
She didn't want no evidence. She didn't want no evidence, but she sat there and watched, you know. So that was a lot of fun too. going on vacation with her. Because I saw a different side of my mother whenever we went on vacation. You know, here I was thinking she was the saint, you know.
Well, she is.
She is. But she was so much fun, you know, to be with. Yeah. I have lots of memories, but those are things that just came up. Yeah.
Well, I know that I have memories of Camp Granny. So we would send our kids to moms for Camp Granny. And there was one year where I think we needed Wesley to stop drinking the bottle. Is that right, Rhonda? You had to help me with this. And so Grandma said, I got this. Don't worry. And by the time we came to pick him up, he was off the bottle. I don't know what you did. Yeah, how was?
Well, we had
You
just
could tell
moved
us.
to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And he was 18 months.
Okay.
And Wesley was spoiled. He was very spoiled because I had to lay on my side from 11 weeks to 35 weeks.
And he was the surprise baby.
Well, I was very traumatized by that whole experience because, you know, it was difficult. And every day I literally had two baby outfits that I bought for Wesley. And I had to visualize every day. I held up my little baby boy outfit. I had two of them. And every day I would visualize a healthy baby. And that's how I got through that pregnancy because I was very high risk with preeclampsia. And but I was determined I wasn't going in the hospital. So I made it to 35 weeks with him. And, you know, I had a C-section and things like that. They had a whole neonatal team there to resuscitate Wesley because I was so high risk. So he was spoiled. And so he kind of had his way with everything.
Yes, I was at the Camp Granny because it was at my house. So I visualized the whole.
So that was Denver. That was Denver.
No, that was in New Jersey.
New
And we
Jersey.
went 2
Okay.
years for the summer.
Yeah.
So my mother used to get our kids for the summer.
Camp Granny.
When I was pregnant with him, her and my father, I will never forget this. They didn't tell us they were coming. They showed up at the house in Cincinnati and they said, we're taking the kids, pack them up and get them ready. And she took the kids so that I could have Wesley as full term as I had him. And so Rosalind and Jocelyn, they were gone the whole summer with Jamila and Ramel. And I couldn't say nothing. My mother and father came and took my kids away.
It was out of love. It was out of love.
Yeah,
right.
So anyway,
Yeah.
when we moved back home to Pittsburgh, he was my only child that went in daycare. And he went to Mercy School up there at Duquesne. And so much to my surprise, they said he had to be off the bottle. And Mommy said, I got this. He'll be off the bottle before he get home.
Say less. Say less.
And she took the bottle off of him, and that was it. And she used to wave her little finger at Wesley like this. And Wesley would. And she would say, I got him under control. You can mess him up if you want. But she said, I've got him trained. So my job was to not mess up. And I thank God for my mother. I do.
Amen.
She was a lifesaver for me.
Wesley used to lay on the. He couldn't even. He was so spoiled. He would lay on his stomach. He wouldn't even crawl.
Right. Yeah.
His grandma got him in shape.
She did. But what she did with him, how she got him off that bottle, she put water in the bottle. He didn't want the bottle. He didn't want the water. So he hollered and screamed all night long. She said, you can holler if you want to. You ain't get no milk. And poor Rosalind and Jocelyn, they were trying
yeah.
to go up and say, Wesley keeps crying. Grandma won't let us pick him
When we
up."
would call, we get the updates. The behind the scenes. Yeah.
I heard that.
Rescue 911.
Even I felt bad for Wesley. I was like, oh, you're not going to give him the milk? He was all fat and everything. You don't need that milk. You don't want that water, that's all
funny.
That's where the kid really came from. Yeah.
Wesley had met his match. That's right. Yeah.
I'll continue with that. So some of my memories, it would be like 3 parts. So I remember when I was real young, like 3 or 4, we were at Hershey Park, and I used to
Here comes Derwin.
only go to the bathroom, sit down when I was real little. What's up, Derek? But all the stalls was taken, so I ran out. I said, Grandma, I gotta go to the bathroom. And she said, well, you better go standing up. And that was my first little manhood moment. Right there, back there. Yeah, that was the first part. And similarly, one time I was at my grandma and granddad's house, and there was some kids playing in the backyard next door. I don't know what they was doing, but I came out to play with them, and one of them called me a fat boy. So I come inside, and grandma says, well, you go out there and call him skinny. So it gave you toughness, right? I sure did, right? Wasn't no pampering. And then one time when I was in school, so I took 5 years, but I finished. But there was one time where I had started my 5th year, and I realized that I needed to stay 1 more semester. And the plan was only for me to have that 1 semester. So I'm on the phone, and we not knowing what's, wasn't quite clear what had to be done. And Grandma said, you better man up. As we used to call the phone, and it was what I needed to hear at that time. It was put my head down, do the work, and I was going to have to just do the extra year the full way. And I remember, Grandma saying, man up, man up. So in that moment, that's what I did. And I wasn't feeling sorry for myself no more, felt confident. And, I wound up graduating later that year, getting my degree. So those are, when I think about my grandma, think about like the toughness that, grandma is the same, and someone who likes to sing and definitely don't like to see no roaches or rats or kind of screaming.
No roaches.
Right, no roaches.
No roaches. No bugs.
But grandma's got that toughness. So I was saying, because her and my granddad on my dad's side are born on the same day, same year.
Yeah.
But to me, and I'm a little biased because I'm younger, but they don't make women like my grandma no more.
That's right.
My generation.
That's right.
They don't make, men like my pap or on my other side either. But, I grew up with that great foundation with the grandparents.
That's so true.
That's right.
That's so
Not everybody had them either.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Well, we already heard me, and I have some stories about you about the wolf. But I won't tell. I would let Jamila tell. Mommy practically raised Jamila. She practically raised my daughter Jamila. My daughter will call her grandmother before she calls her mother. That's how much she loves her grandmother. Means everything to her. Like my mother means everything to me too. 'Cause she was the first grandchild, and she's highly still spoiled. Because my mother did it. But I love every second with my mother. There's not a second that I can remember not loving my mother. There's might be a couple, but everybody has some things with them. But I love my mother. Mommy, love you. Love you.
So for the lay people.
And you know who you are, right?
I love you. We're doing memories for our Juanita.
Came all right from New York.
Wait for you to get done talking.
I know you ain't walking past
Look there, hey, look, hey. I was just waiting for her to get done talking.
Because
Listen, wait a minute, let me say this. It's the king and the queen of the next generation, guys. Yeah. Hey, we get to sit up front now.
Right,
You know,
I'll be 70 next Thursday, but I still look 25.
Sit down. But you look good. You look good.
Yeah, clean it on up. Clean it on up.
You said it, bro.
Yeah. Kim don't even know her. Kim asked me when you gonna be 70. She don't even know. I done advertised it all day and night. Yeah, next.
But you'll be another.
He's
55. You're born at 59. My birthday. I'm
I'm old. I keep telling you I'm old.
I gotta put a big invitation.